You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Yo, 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 what up, though? I hope you guys are ready for another edition of DSR2. Plenty to get into this week, guys. I mean, holy cow, is there plenty to get into. NBA, NHL, and then, some of the off-the-field stuff. And, it's the usual debauchery as we get closer and closer to our summer break here. Things get a little loosey-goosey. So come hang out with us, get in on the social media, Studio 57 Radio across the board, and let's get into this thing. So without further ado, let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, Johnny the Boots.
Hey, we're back here for another edition of DSR2 on this wonderful Wednesday here in the day. Yes, it is June 1st. It looks like we can finally say is, yes, we can pack up the snow shovels till October. I'm going out on a limb there.
Oh, you jinxed us all.
I'm throwing caution to the wind.
Yeah, it's almost like speaking of a no-hitter at this point. I know Michigan's so crazy. Who even knows what's going to happen tomorrow with the weather?
Yes. But we got here lots here to talk about on there. As we got the NBA Finals upon us. Golden State versus Boston. We'll get into that. We'll definitely get into the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. Break those down on there as well. And we've got the Conference Finals for hockey going on right now, and we'll get to that. Also, we got MLB action going on there, and a couple of little things on there. Dustin Johnson just signed with the Saudi-backed LIV League on there for $125 million, and his Royal Bank of Canada immediately dropped him as a sponsor.
Yeah, he lost all his sponsorships. He gave over his soul. I mean,
he's persona non grata in the PGA.
My whole thing with it, it's the same take I have with Vince McMahon going over there and taking their money.
Yeah.
I mean, you must not, like, I don't know, man. It's just some grimy shit. Like, that's the only money on the whole planet I don't want to touch.
No.
I'm just saying.
That
like, maybe Russian money?
Russian money? Well, again, Russia doesn't have any money right now.
It's not worth anything right now. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know, man. Like, I sure wouldn't want no Saudi money. I don't care. That's like that. That's like that African blood money, diamond blood money type
it's totally blood money there.
It's like you can have it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
good luck on that. If you don't fulfill your on there, they don't think you're worth it on there. What's going to happen?
We wouldn't let him fly out.
Right. Well, yeah, that was the whole Vince McMahon deal.
Yeah. With WWE, they had live TV tapings and everybody was stuck in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
And they had to do it with like a skeleton crew of like nobody, and you could tell. It was crazy. So, yeah, I just think you're asking for trouble, even monkeying with them fools. But whatever, dude. Money makes you do crazy things, but that's nuts to me, dude. Like, you're out of your rabbit doing something like that. I just whatever, dude. What? Why would you think that that's a safe or a good idea? Like, when you get involved with the PGA and you golf these tournaments and you do all this stuff, like, there's no threat of life there.
No.
But, like, if you go to Saudi Arabia and deal with a tournament and deal with the Saudis, that threat is very real.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't get what amount of money. I'm not sure where. I don't know about you, Moose. I'm not sure where the $ tips where you say, oh, it doesn't matter if I die or not. Because last I checked, dead guys don't spend a lot of money.
No. Hopefully his fiance will be all cool with it.
I mean, if you're cool with making the ultimate sacrifice for
Paulina on it,
then okay. More power to you. I ain't mad at you if that's going to be your answer. But for some reason, I don't feel like that's going to be the answer.
Yeah, I don't think his future father-in-law and mother-in-law are going to be showing up in any of these tournaments.
Ain't nobody going to be showing up to these tournaments.
The first one they said is in England there on there. It's the same weekend as the Canadian Open, which, his old sponsor, one of his, is on there. But maybe he's at that point, too. Now he was number one player in the world. Now he's fallen to 13, and the skills have eroded a little bit. And he wants an a quick paycheck. But, dude, I'm not taking a chance on that one. That's the one.
That's what I'm saying.
No, not on that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand where the dollar point switched. You were all right with putting yourself at risk like that. I just think, I get it. Everybody's got I'll do this, but I ain't doing that unless pay me to do that. So I get it. Everybody's got a dollar limit. Like, I ain't gonna do that until the dollar amount's right. But I don't know where the dollar amount's ever right to deal with the Saudis. I don't know where it's at. I can't see it. To me, it just doesn't make sense. But that's just me. I come up on the streets. There's just some money you just don't take. Like, there's certain gangsters you don't want to be in debt to. Like, you think that changes? I take that same mentality with them. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be in debt to them, and you are when you do business with them, whether you want to be or not. And no, I'm not. Yeah, I'll pass on that. You can just pass me.
Why do you think everybody else has passed on that?
Yeah, you can miss me with all that shit.
Jack Nicklaus, they wanted him to be just a spokesman and the face of it for $100 million. He's like, no,
yeah, I'm no good. Part of that.
He's also too I'm in my 80s. What do I need $100 million for?
And all you're doing is you're getting paid all this money to just entertain a handful of people,
right?
Because you're not. There's nothing else there. It doesn't mean anything. You're only going to be able to match up against whoever they can come up with. You're only going to be doing what they want you to do. There's nothing. Nobody's going to watch it.
No, what's it going to be on?
Yeah, no one's going to watch it.
It's not going to be on the Golf Channel because the PJ's no, we're not. No, it's not happening.
It's not going to be aired anywhere here.
You'll probably get the same viewership as you're getting for USFL games.
Yeah. USFL might outdo it just because you won't have any place to watch it unless you stream it.
So, Shea Patterson gets waived by the...
what a shame.
Yeah, the number one pick all in the USFL draft got waived. Dreams of playing on Sunday. Dude, you're not a USFL quarterback, much less an NFL quarterback.
It's funny because, the same guy who cut him is probably the same guy who picked him. You know what I'm saying? You pick this guy and he's cut before the season's over. He's the number one overall pick.
Number one overall, dude.
And it is what it is, man. It's home, dude. Fisher needs to be gone from football.
Again,
He wouldn't be 500 in high school.
No, he's getting. I
can't believe that he had a Titans team that was that good.
He got lucky. It wasn't nothing about his coaching ability. He was basically, you had Eddie George in his prime. You had Steve McNair. You had Dyson. You had a great defense up there with everybody on there. Yeah, it was nothing to do with him coaching.
Well, I get that. I never said it was.
Oh, he got lucky.
The fact that they were that good is amazing.
He's the king of mediocrity. You know, again, I joked about it too. It's like, oh, there's a 10-game season on there, guaranteed 4-6.
Yeah,
they won't even be 500. 4-6.
Oh yeah, they're definitely not going to be.
They're 1-6, so that means is whoever's on there on with it. They'll have to win the next 3 games just to get to that 4-6 level. It's a one and done. The USFL's one and done.
They shit the bed on the way they did the whole thing.
I mean, nobody shows up to the games unless Birmingham game, and we got the hometown crowd on there. But nobody else, 50, 60 people show up for the other games.
Yeah. Well, how many people do you think you're gonna get? I mean, look at this shit. Like, how many people are gonna come and watch a team for a league that they don't even know anything about, that isn't even in their neighborhood, and even the home team can't really.
Yeah, the home team gets a couple thousand.
Right.
That's about it.
Yeah. So, like, what do you think's gonna?
What the hell is there to do in Birmingham, Alabama, especially in spring, anyways? Nothing.
There ain't no, but these cats don't care. They can't scrounge. They can't rub 2 pennies together in a lot of places. So, what do you want? What do you want from them? They're not gonna spend their disposable income they have going to that shit. They're just not.
Yeah.
Especially not for these teams that aren't home teams. You got to get them moved around if you want to get anybody in front of there. You want to get any exposure to the product. I mean, it's not like you're getting bad football. It's not like it was bad production. It's just the way they executed this whole thing, having it in one place, not changing stuff up. Yeah, they just didn't think it through, man. They weren't ready yet.
They rushed it.
Yeah,
it was a total rush.
I'm sick of it, man.
A year ago, we didn't hear anything about the USFL comeback, and we didn't hear about it till like 3/4 of the way through the NFL. Like, USFL's back, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's my whole take too. And like, I kind of appreciate what the XFL's done and taking a couple of years to get things right before they launch. So
right.
We'll see how their 2024 launches. Or 2023?
I think 23.
Okay. So we'll see how that launch goes. And, not this spring, but next spring. Obviously not this spring, but I don't know. I just think as much as people love the idea of spring football, nobody's getting into it like that.
No.
Because there's just too much going on. Like, especially in our region, the weather starts breaking. A lot of people have seasonal jobs that pick up business. You've got people that travel during this time. You've got cats that have multiple properties and spend their time away. Mm-hmm. You've got all this kid things. You're playing. Yeah. You're running around with the kids doing the ball games and stuff, softball. So, like, there's all these other things going on. You're getting wrapped up because school season's ending, so graduations and all that stuff for seniors and finals for other students, and there's just a lot going on. You have like proms and all that.
Oh nonsense. Yeah, you got all that. Just
I mean, there's just so much going on during spring, especially in this region, that I just don't see people spending their disposable income, time, money, whatever,
on a minor league football league, right, with no star power appeal whatsoever.
Right.
At least the original one had players you knew.
Exactly. That's
guys that could have played on the NFL
and
on there to sign with the USFL,
right?
Because he actually said will allow you guys to sign so many star players, but most of them on there. And that's the difference. This one is like, who? Yeah. Paxton Lynch is the quarterback now for the Michigan Panthers. He was terrible, being drafted out of Denver.
Yeah,
I don't understand. I mean, this one on there. Hopefully, the XFL can get at least some guys out there, people that you've seen and heard before. But this USFL is an unmitigated disaster.
It really is. And I hate to say it like that because that's just. I mean, as much as we want it, I just don't think we've got time for it in our lives.
No.
And then the way they executed this wasn't going to work. So hopefully the XFL, like They got to find a way to market this thing. They got to find a way to get people invested in it, and they got to find a way to market this thing, and they got to be modest and understand they are what they are. You know, they're not lighting the world on fire, and they need to like. They're closer to like. They're not even is at soccer level. They're kind of like at I don't know, frisbee golf level or cornhole level, where you people will watch, but you're not selling tickets at big prices.
I bet you ESPN's getting bigger draws for the cornhole championship than the
that's
Fox
what I'm
or
saying.
NBC are getting for the USFL.
That's what I'm saying. So you got to put yourself on that level and start modestly. And I just feel like they think they can come out here swinging like they're going to they're going to be part of the 4 major sports here because they're football. And it's like, no, that's not how it works.
How many times have they tried spring footballs? It just doesn't work. The NFL did the World League of American Football. That was win a couple years on there. And again, it just...
Well, yeah, the whole NFL Europe thing, it just doesn't... It never really worked because, once again, you're not... There's always a flaw in the system. And I guess it just depends on what the concept of the league is supposed to be. If NFL Europe was supposed to be their developmental league, then you don't need to be the next competition for the NFL because it doesn't matter. You're just be guys. You're just ultimately going to be. You're ultimately just going to be, a minor league system. Then it doesn't have to be better or get better or be competitive or have this, that, or the other third. But if you're trying to be a sustainable league on your own, then you have to build up to that point. It's coming out of nowhere. It just doesn't work that way. You can't just say, "Oh, it's football, so everybody will love it and we'll be up at the." No,
it's a different entity nowadays on it because people's got too many things going on in their lives with it on there. So
they should be playing at high school stadiums.
I mean, plus you don't even have a damn fantasy league for this thing. So
you need to find, that would help. It would actually
unless you're Tommy
like
fan.
Yeah. They just need to book everything at like high school stadiums, like. Pick a big name high school in like a city where you're having a team and do it in a small setting. Sell the tickets cheap and get some TV rights and make your money off of that.
Right. You're better off doing it in a couple of these the high schools in Texas that have these 30,000 seat arena. Having multiples on there, you could probably
never fill 30,000.
Oh, God, no.
No, they could come here and do like Kobo, right? And you put like 25, you put like 8,000 people in there, maybe.
You'd have to do like like Wayne State or something like that.
There you go. I don't mind Wayne State, but you can't. You don't need any of these major places.
You could do Wayne State. Marion College over in Livonia now is a Division III school for football, so they've got football. Lawrence Tech's got football now too.
I saw their setup. You could probably do something like that too.
Yeah, so you've got.
But so that's kind of where you gear yourself for, and once again, you go to these places, you got to do giveaways, you got to get in promotions, you got to sell these tickets at reasonable prices, and just basically fucking give them things away and get people in the building. And then you have once you have the ambiance in the building and you got the fanfare going on inside, have big goofy mascots. Have fucking T-shirt cannons and goofy things going on. Bring out the crazy lady that balances dishes on her head or whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it fun so that, like, when people go to the event, they go, wow, I had a blast. We did this, that, and the other thing. And they're like, I thought you were at a football game. That's how you have to present these things. And then you'd be like, well, I was at a football game. They're like, really? Had all that going on at the game? Yes. Yeah. There was a Ferris wheel in the fucking parking lot. Whatever you got to do.
Who cares?
You know what I'm saying? Like, do things like that. Make it an event every time you come out, even though you can't take a big venue in.
Right. And I think, we'll get a perfect example, like here locally, is be at the USBL, the Utica, Shores Baseball League.
Oh, sure.
At Jimmy John's. Not a huge venue. Maybe seats, 3,000, 4,000 tops on there. Yep. And they put on a good show. I mean, the quality of baseball is just below an A-level ball on there, so it is a minor league on there, but it's a lot of fun. It's reasonable price. Right. You can go look at that. Even your concessions are not outrageously priced on there. They make the family on there. They got play areas for the kids. They do fireworks on the weekends. Perfect.
Yep.
A small little stadium, and it's busy.
Why can't that with football? Why wouldn't that? You don't think that would take off with football?
You could do small Division III school cities under. You can have like Grand Valley State. You have a team in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, right.
In Grand Valley, good, perfect. You see 4,000, 5,000 people. Boom. Grand Rapids has still over 100,000 people living in Grand Rapids, so you could definitely do that there.
Yep.
You can do like the same thing in like Youngstown State in Ohio or something like that. You could do small, but everybody thinks this delusion of grandeur that we can do it and we can put them in a Division I stadium, and we're gonna be able to sell out. No, you're not.
Just doesn't work that way.
I mean, the original USFL, a lot of these teams switched cities. Remember, New Orleans went from Portland, Maine or Portland, Oregon to, it was like, okay, only a couple cities were able to keep it a go.
Right.
On there. So, yeah, I think the USFL is going to go by the way on there, one and done. It'll be done. I don't think it'll be back for another year.
Yeah, I don't feel like it will be either. It just does. It just feel like it's here and gone like a mofo.
So, also a little funness on there. Tommy Fan of the Cincinnati Reds on there, and Jock Peterson got into it. Well, actually, it's fans all bent out of shape and butthurt over a feud over their fantasy football league.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That he slapped Peterson during batting practice, and it was regarding because, according to the league and the league rules, is if a player is ruled out for the weekend, you can put him on the IR and pick up guys, and that's what Peterson did. And fans said, that's bullshit. You're stashing players. He goes, here's the rules. Here it is. Here's a screenshot. It says if a guy's ruled out, I can put him on the IR and pick. And by the way, you've done the same damn thing yourself. Of course, then he makes fun. He's like, oh, yeah. How was it last year? Was making fun of him being with the Padres last year, and then basically having a terrible year, and the Padres not having a good year with it, and he gets all bent out of shape out of it. Now he's throwing Mike Trout under the bus. Fan is for being a terrible commissioner to this fantasy league. So Trout goes, I didn't want it. It got forced on me. So what the hell? I guess I'm not going to do that ever again. Right. But it was a $10,000 buy-in for the participants. And after this, Fan drops out of the league 4 weeks into or 5 games into the league, the season, because he's all butthurt. His money. Did he pay the money up front on there? Because if not, I'd be pissed. Yeah. Like, hey, you quit? Good. You're still paying us the $10,000. But
oh boy.
And of course, fans now saying, "No, that's not all to it." And Peterson goes, "Yeah, it is. Here it is. Here's all the text messages and the gifts I sent you and everything with it. I guess you just can't have it somewhere."
Nope, nobody can. It's all gone now. No, you can't be funny. You can't be sarcastic. You can't say anything. You can't. No sense of humor. All that. It's all bye bye. No more. No, I just. I don't know what to say. Excuse me. I just. It's a fantasy football league, and people are it's so. It's okay. You know what it is? It's Amber Heard, Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
That's what
for a fan can't take trash talking in fantasy football. Dude, that's what you do, fantasy football. You trash talk. You trash talk during the draft. You trash talk during the season. You trash talk whenever you're playing somebody.
I've been in a couple of leagues where people get butthurt over that stuff. So I just quit because you're talking about a guy who spent, 20 years on the Detroit rap scene. I will talk some shit. Like I can light some fools up. Like it doesn't even have to be about nothing. Like I could just get you so mad you can't even respond. So like you try to say something, you just can't. You got nothing. And so, I just avoid it because it's just a problem. Like people can't. You think they can. Like now, if it was me and you, Moose, like me, you, Jimmy, you know, we know we're all cool. Like we're not gonna do anything. Like anything we say is just shit talking. But sometimes you get in these. All it takes is a couple of guys that don't know each other, and everybody's and someone talks some shit.
They'll take it the wrong way and get it.
It's like it's just not even worth it. It's like, man, and then it turns into Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. Like I don't care. Like, I don't care. It's the same thing when I turn on the local radio, and I hate local sports. It's such hot garbage now, sports talk locally. And they're talking about, first things is first, the betting shit's way overboard now. But it used to be the fantasy football. The betting thing now, the BetQL, that's the new version of it now. But it's like, dude, I don't effing care about your fantasy league, just like I don't effing care about your bets, your parlays, and you're doing this and you're doing that, and if you bet, I don't care. What's that have to do with what I saw in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Right.
What's that have to do? Like, what did your betting tell you about how that was going to play out? Because we came on the air and told you how it was going to play out.
Right.
But you sat on the air and spent hours talking about how you were going to bet, what you were going to bet, what this, that, and the other, and you all lost your ass. There's a reason why Vegas has got those big, huge buildings and the pretty lights and all that stuff. Imagine the electric bill for one of them buildings, let alone all them buildings in there. Do you think that you're getting over? Do you think, the radio station that's sending these idiots up here to talk about the betting line and stuff like that is owned by the companies that take your bets?
Right.
So they're giving you the propaganda. Oh, we're this against the spread, and we're this against here. Bet our bet. It's a sure deal. What are you talking about, dude?
There's no sure deal,
dude. You are the. Why would you tell me how to beat you? That doesn't make any sense. How would you tell me how to take your money? Listen to it. Listen to what you're hearing, and then you get sports talk radio. It's the same thing as the fan. I just don't care. Here, talk about sports. We shoot the shit. We have a good time. We clown around, and we talk about what's going to happen, what we're seeing. I can't believe what we saw with this series back and forth. It was the most competitive, non-competitive, weird-ass series I ever saw, but it still did everything we told you it would do. It went 7 games. The road team to make it happen, and they had to win multiple times in the series, and that's what you got. Like, it checks all the boxes except for when you watched it. It was like, well, most of the games are kind of in hand.
Yeah.
And Game 7 should have been like a game for the ages, and Miami didn't show up.
Jimmy Butler was the only one that showed up.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler
was the only one that showed up for the entire series.
Really? Quite honestly.
I mean, come on, Game 6 when they won, when he put on 47. I mean, again, I like Miami. I love Jimmy Butler with it.
Oh, yeah.
On there. But it just went exactly how we said. We said Boston's going to win in 6 or 7.
Yeah.
It's going to on there. Just on there.
I had it. I was adamant about 7. I just think that's the way things have been going. And I knew that they would have to win it on the road, but I never thought they would lose. Well, I guess last week when I said it, they had to lose at home in order to get to a Game 7 and win on the road. But I just didn't think they'd be winning on the road at this clip.
Yes.
I mean, that's insanity, what you're getting from Boston. So that's a scary prospect going into the finals against Golden State. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But, yeah, when you can win on the road, you can win championships, and defense travels, and all of that is all actual and factual when you're watching the Boston Celtics play basketball. I mean, it's as close to the old school, going to work Pistons type, or even earlier type attitude that you used to see in the Eastern Conference, a couple decades ago.
Yeah. I mean,
more.
I think it's going to be a pretty good series because both Boston and Golden State really play defense, and Golden State is really underrated in their defense, what they play.
The problem with Golden's defense, and I don't think they're necessarily underrated, because I got news for you. when Draymond's out, if Draymond is ever out,
It's
for
a different
injury,
ball game.
You're talking. So you're getting defense from one individual that's very, very good elite defense, but you're getting a great team defense. When you watch Curry or Klay Thompson, you're not getting great defense. And I think that this is why that series, when we'll break down the series a little bit more, it could go back and forth, is because that's going to be the battle there. It's going to be Golden State's ability to just catch fire and just put a lot of points on the board really, really fast, with Boston being able to, maintain that defense and not waver like they kind of did in Game 7 against the Heat, where, like, if a couple things don't go your way, they might have completed that comeback. And with Golden State, you're damn well sure they're going to complete that comeback.
Right, because, Boston...
You know what I'm saying? Because they got the firepower to do it, as to where Miami
didn't have to do it. Yeah, because you look on there, and we'll get into that more on there, but, the way they played on there, especially the way Boston in these playoffs has let a couple of leads fall apart on them, in that, especially the fourth quarter.
Sure.
This,
that's going to be the story, is going to be, can their defense hold up when they're not scoring, and Golden State, it goes on those spurts. Like, can you hold up? Can you hang in there? Like, I think that's going to be the story. It's going to be Boston's defense versus Golden State's offense. But, when you start talking about that, it's kind of like, I equate it to MMA, right? When you see two guys that can that really can stand and throw down like hands, and you're expecting this crazy back and forth battle, because that's what these guys do, but they do it so well that they know the other one could take them out at any time, and they end up wrestling instead,
right,
and grappling and jiu-jitsu, and they're doing that grappling wrestling angle of MMA, as opposed to what you thought you were going to get, which was a crazy stand-up banger, which is what fans like to see. So sometimes that healthy respect changes styles. And so maybe we'll see. And I would imagine it would, right? That's your game plan. You're going to make adjustments. You're going to plan. There's no shortage of fatigue is not going to be an issue. They're going to have plenty of effing time between games to rest. So really, other than like, a catastrophic injury, the only thing you have to do is game plan. And so, what wrinkles can you put in? What's a little bit different than what you did in all these series prior? And then, like, how do you work that game series against, Golden State or Boston, respectively? So it's going to be super interesting, because I think it should be a fun coaching battle, to be quite honest.
Oh, I think that's what it's come down to.
And we'll get into our predictions and stuff a little bit later, but Kerr's Warriors are very efficient in Game 1 situations. So, and that's always a good way to kick off a series, especially when I presume they have home court, correct?
Yeah. No, Boston, I think, has got home court.
Really?
Because they had this, because the Warriors were the 3 seed in the West, and Boston was the 2 seed.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know why I thought that. Yeah, you're right. Because Phoenix and who was 2 in the West?
First game is tomorrow. No, it's at Warriors do have home field.
Okay.
It's at Chase Center in Frisco. So
okay.
So Warriors have on there. Yeah, we'll see on there if Boston can keep the road going on there on the road, and that
they just got to steal one.
But the one problem, we'll get into that on there. I have a huge problem with these 9:00 starts for the NBA. Dude, why are we starting at 9:00?
With the East Coast bias, I totally agree, because there is no such thing as like a 2-hour game.
No, it's 3 hours, especially prime time.
Right.
For finals, it's going to be midnight before it's done.
Well, because they take long breaks, and they take so many
TV
commercials.
breaks and oh my God.
I know. It is super slow moving, especially in the finals or the playoffs, really. But I
don't understand
I don't
why.
get it
And again, the only league that's to get it right is the NFL.
Yeah. Well, they get it. They understand where the geographic are of the televisions they're trying to reach, right? Like you want to hit a certain demo and you want to, hit, everything is a target demo, right? So you want to hit that, whatever it is, 25 to 34-year-old male or whatever the hell it is that they're trying to get. And so in order to hit that demographic, and to hit enough TVs, there's time slots, there's certain programming you want to hit when it comes to advertising, all that. And so they hit all the demos because they look at all those things. So it's like, yeah, I am not going to put these games on so late that the second half of numbers just plummet because the East Coast checks out, when that's really like 2/3 of your television audience.
Right.
So, regardless, it's not an East Coast, West Coast thing. It's just the Eastern time zone has so many more televisions accessible to you than the West, so you just kind of sucks. That's the price you're paying in a nicer climate. How's that?
Yeah.
You're out
Deal
west.
with it.
Yeah.
Listen to it on the radio on your way home from work.
Right. Just and I'm just saying it's at 8.
Right. 8:30.
Yeah,
even
even
8:00.
8:30.
I mean 8:30. I mean it's like 8 o'clock start, 8:30 start. It's
That'd be
working.
fine.
So what else on there? Sixers are going to keep the the 23 pick this year in the draft and till next year. As for the Nets. So why are you deferring it, dude? What are you going to get in the 23rd pick of the first round in the
I
draft?
don't even understand that. How can you do that? Because what about the 23rd and
what you're saying next year you're going to be? I mean, are you going to be any better? Nah, not really.
I don't even know how you defer a draft pick to the next year, because doesn't somebody get that draft pick? You just automatically
you keep your draft pick and you give them next year's honor. So the honor, but I'd give them the 23rd pick and then hopefully again we'll see what they do next year. But Quinn Snyder looks like he may be ready to step down at the Jazz. Something needed to happen here because nobody on that team liked each other. Everybody hated each other. So
yeah, you can't have that going on. That's for sure. So elbows.
But the one thing with Golden State is it's you got the Splash Brothers and you got Draymond, but then you look at in his playoff run what Poole has done this year, how he's progressed his game up this year big time, especially with Clay being hurt and then Seth being hurt. He was getting a lot more playing time.
Yep, absolutely.
So he's been able to develop more of a game on there. Andrew Wiggins, these playoffs has been really good.
Yep.
So again, obviously that trade worked out great for them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. We could go on and on and on about how these guys weren't wanted elsewhere and have turned up and played well. I mean, you can look at it. It happens all over the place. Sometimes it's about where you're at, not who you are. Sometimes and Golden State seems to breed a good culture no matter who they bring in there.
Yes.
So I mean, if they were able to manage Durant and all that came with that drama queen. I mean, the burner accounts and all the crazy nonsense.
Oh my God!
He's just such a goof.
That and him just being butthurt over everything.
Yeah, so I just can only imagine what it was like. But they managed that without an issue, and they were able to win championships throughout. They just kind of had to take some time off. Really, injuries, COVID, really kind of messed them up. Other than that, they're right back to it now.
Yeah.
And so, to me, it's just a continuation of a legacy that they already started. And so, with that comes that familiarity, right? Like, you feel like they can win that championship. So, when you start talking about your predictions and thinking about who's going to win this and how this the finals will break down, that it's got to be fresh in your mind. Is that, that quite frankly, the only if it weren't for injury and COVID, they would, if not won other championships, at least contended.
Yeah, if play doesn't miss essentially a season and a half or 2
Right.
seasons on there, then they would have been back.
Right.
With it, you look on here, and I love what Patrick Beverly was talking about too about guarding guys out there. He says, I've guarded CB3s, no problem. He goes, hell, I can go out partying the night before for guarding CB3.
That's funny.
Donovan Mitchell, yeah, I can go out under. He goes, oh, we're playing Golden State tomorrow, and I got Steph. Oh, I'm in bed by 8:00.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm asleep. The lights are off at 8:30. The phone's off. Everything.
Yeah,
I need my 12 hours.
Yes. You will be running. You're constantly on the move. You got to be ready. Get your cardio up.
Get your cardio because he's constantly. Hey, he can shoot it from anywhere on the court.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the problem. Is like you can't give him a cushion anywhere. Really.
No,
it's so crazy.
Oh yeah. He's out at 28 feet. He ain't shooting there. Swish.
What the fuck? Yeah, it's like
he's at the logo. I'm safe there. Swish.
Yeah, it's like oh my
Jesus.
It's crazy. So they're gonna change this guy's name to Johnny Squash. That's John Hennigan getting the shit stomped out of him right now, as we have a little pro wrestling in the background. No NBA on tonight. And John Hennigan, he's cool. He was Johnny Nitro when he was in WCW or whatever. He was in Johnny Morrison in WWE. He's Johnny Mundo in Lucha Underground. He always changes his last name to wherever he goes, kind of thing. Now he's Johnny Elite here, but he came in and got smashed in a match like a week or so ago, and as like a joker, like a surprise wrestler in a tournament, and he got smashed, and now he's getting smashed by the returning Miro, and so they just need to change his name to Johnny Squash.
So he's like the modern day version of Don Morocco.
Yeah, he's turning into their version of the Brooklyn Brawler.
Repo Man.
The Repo Man was awesome.
I love the Repo Man. We went and saw because he was also Doinks the Clown,
and he was also in Demolition
on there.
Yeah.
So we went. We again, we're getting off track here, but this is a great story because there was 8 of us. We got front row seat. It's just like a club level on there. It was at the Palace, so we're in the front row, and of course you got on there, and he's a Repo Man. On Sunday, of course we're all like, give him the boot. Poke him in the eye. Doing on there. Do it. Give him the boot. Get your stinking teeth in. And he looked at us on there. He goes on there. So he's like, get into it. It's like, he's like going, hey, take a bump, man. These guys are into me, man. I gotta look good finally. I've got fans finally.
That's
and
awesome.
again, when in doubt, root for the heel.
Yeah, I'm always about I love the heel work if it's good.
And you could tell he was having a blast.
Oh yeah.
You can look. He's looking over like, doink.
Yeah. That was the man, dude. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
But oh my God, we going to wrestling on there, as we say, it's entertainment. It's primal level.
Oh, it's super fun, and if you guys get a chance,
if you take it not seriously, you just go
local.
there. We're gonna have a blast.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna be outlandish.
Yeah, you're gonna have fun. Yeah. I mean, it's all the entertainment you want. It's got like the drama and the acting, and they work the crowd. Like, go to your local indie show. Don't go to WWE or AEW. That stuff you watch on TV. Don't go there for your first experience. Please don't go there for your first experience. Enjoy that stuff on TV, like it, love it, whatever. But go to your local indie, like IWE. Here in Michigan, if you are in northern Michigan, you got to check out an IWE. Wherever you're at, so from SoCal to Georgia and back up here and over wherever at, there's an indie show in your neighborhood. Yes. There's multiple indie shows in your neighborhood. If you got social media, search it out. You'll find groups and people that talk about it. You'll find a show near you. Go watch an indie show. You will have a blast. Because it's interactive, it's funny, it's action packed, it's drama, it's pageantry, it's music, it's crazy, it's everything, man. It's like all of every form of entertainment all wrapped
Leave your
into
inhibitions
one.
at the door. Get
Yep.
into it.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
Scream, yell, and when in doubt, root for the heel.
Yes.
They will love it, you for it, especially if it's a journeyman heel
All right.
on there. They will appreciate it greatly.
Yes.
You'll have a friend for life.
The more you get into it, the more they'll appreciate you for
Yes.
sure. I'm a bit of a sit back and watch and enjoy the show for what it is guy. But absolutely, if you like to go and have a good time, you know what's going on, just have fun with it. And you're right. They'll appreciate that. So, like our guys interact with a lot of cats because of the way they react to what's going on and how pumped they get. So, and we've got our set of super fans in IWE, so that come out and know all the stuff and do all the things and whoop de woo, and that's what makes it fun. And when you're a part of that, it's just cool. It's different. Oh, he landed on him. He wasn't supposed to. He was supposed to get up under, roll under that. And he didn't get far enough under. And Hennigan landed on him a little bit. He must have went light and fell. So he didn't stomp him hard. Miro was out for an injury, I do believe. You don't want to hurt him when he gets back. When he's supposed to squash you. Yeah, I like the MMA version of the camel clutch that he kind of did there. He took he just modified a little bit.
Yep.
Made it look a little bit more
Painful.
Yeah, a little MMA-ish, jiu-jitsu-ish, but not really. And yeah, made it look like it hurt.
Yep, the camel clutch originated by the original Sheik of back in the day. That was my first wrestling match. Was going to go because I got made the honor roll at age. I was in the 4th grade and got to go to the Kobo to go see big time wrestling.
Oh yeah, well you got to check out.
My boy was Pompero Firpo, Madman of the Pants with the El Gorfio, which was the claw.
Right. Well, hey man, I've got the book on the Sheik. Some great stuff from Gary Rowell. So guys, look up Gary Rowell on Amazon. He's actually a photographer from IWE, but I've been a wrestling photographer for 50 effing years, and he followed the Sheik, the original Sheik, around, and he's got a great book, Memoirs of the Sheik, out there. It's a number 1 top seller on Amazon.
Sheik lived right around here.
Yeah, that's Sabu's uncle.
Yep.
So he's Gary, who's our photographer for IWE. He's a photographer for just wrestling, and he followed the Sheik around for quite a bit. And he's got the memoirs. He's got his memoirs out there on the Sheik, and it's available on Amazon Books. So go ahead and check that out, guys. I got my autographed copy here in the studio somewhere. And I don't know where the hell it's at.
He had that.
And he had some good stuff.
He had his
Sheik.
Throwing the fire.
Yes, yeah. The flash paper. Now, as you speak of that, Jericho is here, and ironically, he lights things on fire. He's dressed in white and now calling himself a wizard. So that's probably why his wife likes him so much. Oh, did I say that?
You're a wizard.
Well,
you're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, and you wear a white outfit, and you light things on fire, and your wife was at an insurrection at the Capitol. I mean, it all makes sense now.
Yep. Perfectly.
So, Jericho.
So yeah, we'll get into that. And again, we'll talk a lot more into the breaking down the series, how many games it's going to go, what are going to be the key matchups here and on there with it.
And before we get into that, because we're going to do that on the other side, it's going to be heavy NBA, and it's going to be heavy finals, and we still got to sneak in some NHL. But
yeah, when
you look at the West, and how Golden State was able to kind of trounce Cats.
Yeah.
And Cats were just underpowered. I mean, quite frankly, what was Dallas? No one wanted to mess with them, but what were they going to do in the end? They just didn't have enough firepower.
Didn't have enough firepower on there. And whereas Boston's faced Milwaukee, guys got beat up from Milwaukee, so they beat an underpowered Milwaukee team. And again, took them 7 games.
All right.
Beat up Miami team other than Jimmy Butler. Took him 7 games. Right. We'll get into that on here.
Well, we got sidetracked on the wrestling. I want to make sure we kind of capped off what we were talking about. So yeah, we'll get into breaking this thing down and what we expect from this series here. And we've got some NHL stuff to get into a little bit. They got a little playoff action going on there.
Yes.
And guess what? I would have to say, if I'm going to compare the two, the playoffs, it's been the NHL once again just putting out a great product.
Yes.
It's a great product, even with the crazy shootouts.
Yes.
Like 8 and 9 point games.
8-6 last night.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah. I mean, up and down.
I mean, how can you not like a game like that?
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about it, last week. These goalies are standing on their heads, 52 saves and 54 saves a game. That's insanity. How many times are you getting pelted in the head with this thing? So it's just like the NHL
coming to deliver.
You can't even compare the two. We are NBA heavy here. I love the NBA. I think the NBA is a great product. I think we have a lot more NBA fans out there than NHL fans, so it's prudent to talk NBA. But like the NHL just flat out puts out a better playoff product than any sport.
Yes.
The only sport that has really more drama would be the NFL because it's a one and done situation.
Right.
But I mean, if you put it against any other 7-game series of sports like that with playoffs, it's not even close.
No, it isn't on there. And also too is yesterday was the 20th anniversary of the Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, Detroit versus Colorado, where we lit up Patty Roy for 7 goals.
Dude, that rivalry will always forever.
Which again,
be the
kudos to the
rivalry
mothership for doing a documentary on the rivalry.
To me, that rivalry will always be forever my favorite rivalry. And you're talking about a guy who's grown up with the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry.
Right. Oh my God! There was that period from '95 through 2005. That was the best rivalry in sports. Because again, and they're talking to these guys too. I hate them. Yeah. I hate their guts.
Yeah, it reminded me of the old Pistons and it was just a scrappy
It was Michigan, Ohio State. It was Celtics, Lakers.
Yes, it was just everything all rolled into one. To me, I loved it just because it was so. How do you want to say? It was organic. It happened by accident. It happened because of the stuff that happened on the ice.
Right.
And it was so crazy.
And again, when that document, I will be watching that document, and they better have frickin' Dino Ciccarelli on there, especially talking about, I can't believe I shook his frickin' hand.
Well, okay, if they don't have Dino on there, they need to get a hold of me. I'll call him for you.
We'll get on Dino.
I mean, he's a nightclub owner guy here in Michigan still. Yeah. I think he's still working here.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, he's still doing his thing.
In Shelby.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, that he's accessible, I guess is what I'm saying.
But yeah, the Clyde that was the guy. I can't believe I shook his frickin' hand.
Yeah, I know. Epic.
Somebody says, "Oh yeah, Little Ball of Hate." No, that was Pat Verbeek was Little Ball of Hate. Mm-hmm. Dino was just that short guy, but love Dino.
I do love Dino. Was always a great guy.
He took a beating sitting in the crease and everything with it. So we'll get into that.
He's always a cool guy. Just in my interactions with him, I don't know anything about him morally or politically or spiritually or anything like that. Like I was joking about before, it's not like I have some kind of special access. He's just an easy guy. He's not hard to find, and he's very approachable and easy to deal with, and he's here. So if they don't have him in there, that's a damn shame. They just ain't right. I did, and all jokes aside, I did have his cell phone at one time. I had his number, but that was a whole nother thing. But he. I just, that rivalry was amazing. I don't know why. Like I said, it was just because it was so organic and the way it happened. I just loved it. So I don't know why this guy came out to get his ass beat by 4 guys. Where's his backup? They should be. Yeah, there it is. He's got some. Oh yeah, there. Oh, he just mollywopped him with a sock. Something in a sock. They're probably baseballs, but not really. They're probably foam balls or something. Oh, and he's gonna cut his hair. Oh, Jericho's mad. He cut his hair. He put it in his pocket. That looked like he legit cut his hair.
He cut it. Looked like he took a piece of hair.
I wonder if Jericho's gonna cut his hair. Damn. Jericho's gonna come in with a short haircut again. Jericho's done the short hair before.
Yeah.
He's all mad. So silly. All right, well, we'll take our little break.
We'll take a quick break here. We get back. We got more NBA action. We'll get more NHL action. We'll get in a little bit of baseball action as well. When we get it here on the flip side, we are DSR2 Studio 57.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. The listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air. And now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every day, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke, Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio 57 sent you and get 20%. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate. Tire. With winter fast approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrap to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 1960 James Cousins. That's the Lodge service drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You hop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chain. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you're loving life, you need to be in the club.
We are taking over this broadcast for the ultimate underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that sound of the ultimate underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say infamous, venues in the D, the underground music scene, from the streets to your computer, like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the ultimate under gonna take over a broadcast. So you need to stay tuned to Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, for clues on when and where the next ultimate round may happen. Now, there is no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57, yo, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel your home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules that make Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com, or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390. On to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. What you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice. You are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57, yo.
Welcome back, Rebels. Talking a little NHL, mostly NBA, but we're gonna get into a little NHL. We're gonna get a little MLB even. Yeah, I heard there's a little sport called baseball out there, and they're playing some games. And you Yankee fans, you're declaring things already. Well, we shall see as we get into that and a whole lot more. We got to break down these there finals, NBA finals. Our predictions in here. We're going to talk a little bit about what to watch, the matchup, what to see, be looking for. We're going to have some fun with it. Text line is available to you guys. Get that thing out there. 313-307-5340 and get loose in here. So without further ado, let's get into hour 2 of DSR2. Crappy, and here is that man I was talking about.
The Moose! Hey, back here for the second hour of DSR2 on this actually pretty decent Wednesday here in the D on there, 1st of June out there. So again, as I said, You can put away the snow shovels to October, okay? I'm not chancing and saying, oh, we're good to November. No, October.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to wait till June 1st to roll it out there. So, yeah, we got here lots here to talk about. In case you missed it, we kind of broke down the Eastern and Western Conference Finals of the NBA. We had a little fun with going around there. And basically baseball, a little bit fun story there with Tommy Pham and Jock Peterson. And I guess you can't trash talk now anymore in fantasy football because somebody's going to get butthurt.
Well, the fact that we were even talking about it kind of makes me not feel good about myself. I feel kind of dirty because it's just stupid.
What, the trash talking about football, or just because people can't handle
it's
trash talking?
It's the exact thing I equated it to. Like it's heard Johnny Depp. I don't care.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
millionaires suing millionaires for millions of dollars. I don't fucking care.
Yeah,
this is fantasy football geeks being being mad at fantasy football geeks for being fantasy football geeks.
Right.
It's the same fucking thing. It's no different.
Well,
I am not in the league, hence I don't care.
Yeah.
Same thing with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Well, again,
I'm not in that loop. I don't fucking care.
I think Peterson was kind of making fun of himself. Like, I haven't even talked to him since after this incident, so I don't know what the hell. I mean, Jesus, here's what happened or whatever. Yeah, maybe I was a little bit out of it. Oh, well. Deal with it on there. So
Stop being
he's kind of taking like, oh, whatever. Yeah, I mean,
well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. So
be watch out. Tigers are going to win another series. They're up 5-0.
Oh, well, you just ruined everything. No, they will win meaningless series against shitty teams like.
Well, the Minnesota Twins were leading the Central on there, so.
Well, that's. I mean, we'll take that, but I mean, they're just bad, dude. I mean,
they can't score any runs.
Yeah,
is what it is. Their hitting is atrocious.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, we got Tyler Skubal, which is a bright spot. He's pitching a nice game today. He's got gone through 5 and no runs, so we'll see what happens there.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Yankees. Don't talk, man, because until you win a World Series,
Oh, Yankee fans it's over. They won the division already. It's over.
That's great. You won a
That's-
division
it's
under like last year, and didn't you get smoked by Tampa in the playoffs?
They don't care. They won the division. It's over. There's no need to even watch it anymore.
All right, whatever.
I'm just telling you, Yankee fans are crazy. Mets fans are not much better, but at least they have a healthy paranoia that if they say too much, that it'll get jinxed. Because,
Right. Well, yeah,
because
that fan knows because look at us.
Yeah, that's happened to them before. They've blown
over and over
yeah.
and over.
So yeah, they know better a little bit more. But some of them are getting bold too. So
yeah, watch out, Met fan. It ain't over yet. So
no, it's still early yet. I think declaring anything done is a little premature in June 1st.
yes,
Not that you couldn't be right in the end, but I just feel like it's just a premature time to kind of like get all cocky and puff your vest and be hot take boy with that nonsense. But once again, whatever, Yankee fans, whatever y'all want to do. Well, fans are fans for a reason. That's you're stoked about your team. I get it. It's all good, but don't jinx your team. You don't want to do that.
no.
You don't want these sports jinx. So, but anyway, I don't know. Here locally, the Tigers are so bad that it doesn't. I don't know. It's
Doesn't resonate.
Yeah, it's just not even on my radar right now.
it hasn't
They
been
could
on
win.
there.
They could win this series, and they could play great through this series. And I don't know. I've been trying to listen on the radio, and it's been hard. Who was I can't remember who it was. They were down 6-0 just the other day. How were they playing? And it was just that quick. It was like, okay, they're down 2-0. I'm like, all right. Then they get a run in, and it's like, okay. Then it's 3-0. It's like, okay. Then two men on, and homeboy cracks a home run, and they had a doubleheader that day, and it was
Yeah, that was last week.
and it's like, so you can't go to the bullpen. because this guy's getting crushed in the second or third inning.
Right.
And so you need to get at least 5-6 innings out of this guy because you got another game.
Right.
And they're just bad. They can't. They're not built for doubleheaders. That's for sure.
Well,
and they're not built to beat any team. I can't believe that they're gonna win this series against Minnesota.
yeah. I mean, they took 2 out of 3 against Cleveland over the weekend, and right now they got a game tomorrow. But right now, if they win today, they're guaranteed 3 out of 5 against Minnesota. With it, interesting on there is there's only like 20 players in MLB that are hitting over 300.
That's because it's all for the fences, baby. It's
But again,
chicks dig the long ball.
Home runs are even down too now.
Well, yeah, because it's not like they have a skill set; they're just swinging for it.
Yeah, they're always swinging wildly because on here the ball's honestly, wow, the ball's not wound as tight this year, so the ball's not traveling as far.
Well,
on
that and you don't have a team that knows every pitch is coming, so they can squat on them.
Yeah,
I mean, so you have a lot of things going on, like. And if you think they were the only team that knew what pitches were coming, you're batshit crazy.
Everybody. I mean, the Yankees knew about it too. They got investigated. I mean, and Boston and all that.
Right.
So again, if you ain't cheat, you ain't trying.
Right.
But yeah, they said it's like only like 20 guys. I mean, they said it's like on there, but a lot of guys are on there. So yeah, unlike 1968, where Carl Yastrzemski won the batting title hitting 301, being the only player to hit over 300 on there. At least J.D. Martinez is hitting 363. Yeah, I wish we could have guys like that. Oh, yeah, we did.
No, he was here? You act like we had him and Verlander and Scherzer and
David Price.
And
Nick Castellanos.
Yeah, you act like we had those and with Miguel Cabrera in his prime. Like, what are you talking about? We didn't have none of that.
No, we didn't have any of that whatsoever.
Right. I mean, if we did, how could we not possibly win a championship?
Yeah. So Verlander won his 7th game of the year already.
I'm
you did get the win today.
Bitter fucking fan. Canada Mike, thank you for cheering me up with your Lions hat. Not that the Lions cheer me up, but that you think of us poor pitiful Detroit fans, and he's a Tigers fan, and I know he feels our pain when it comes. So, shout out to you, my brother. Jesus. So, yeah, it's a pitiful sight for baseball this year for us. So, I don't know. It's maybe that's why I'm so bitter about Yankees fans already.
Yankee fan under yapping and talking under. Yeah. Oh, look at us. Look at, dude, your run differential is only 77 on there. So you scored. Oh no, that's the Mets. So the Yankees, it's 79.
Yeah, it's not much better. But
229 scored 150 under. Not like you're the Dodgers, which has a run differential of 116.
Yeah, that's
in
insane.
the June.
That's insane. But once again, Dodger fans got to watch it too. I mean, they
only won one series when they've been good.
Right. I mean, when it comes to playoff baseball, we'll kind of see. But I get it. Maybe I'm just bitter because our teams are so bad here, and I'd love to be able to, talk a little trash about my team. So maybe that's my problem. But I think it's just a little bit premature. I mean, if anybody. I don't know. I just think it's a little premature for anybody to call it already because anything could happen. And we'll see. The season's still got a little bit to go.
I think I'll guarantee to call it. Cincinnati Reds are going to finish dead last in the Central.
Yeah, you're fine. But we'll break that down a little bit. We'll have our Midsummer Spectacular, and there'll probably be a little bit more baseball to talk about in that respect. And of course, as we do the last few weeks here before our summer break, we'll break down a little bit more baseball. But it's a different game now, baby. It's a different game. They're cracking it out of the stadium, or they're swinging foolishly.
So we got we got Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Tampa Bay Rangers 1-1, and we're a minute into the second period.
Tampa, man. That's just a hell of a team there, man.
This would be a great series.
Yeah.
Both these, the way the Rangers have been playing in these
Yeah.
playoffs, and the goaltending of the Rangers and the goaltending on there. This is going to be the play on this end. You're going to see great goaltending in this one and outstanding scoring in the Avalanche and the Edmonton series.
I mean, and then you can't lose no matter who comes out of either side, in my opinion.
No.
It's just the NHL has just got it going on right now. And admittedly, I miss more games than I wish I did. It's hard to keep up with everything. You're trying to, the big talk of it is obviously the NBA, and I guess that's going to be the one good thing about the NBA games being so spread out is I'll be able to absorb a little bit more hockey playoffs as far as catching the games. It's just easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, good stuff over there. Good stuff. So. Anyway,
and what the hell is the Wings waiting for? Let's get a damn coach in here. Let's get Barry Trotz signed up real quickly.
Yeah, to me, I don't care how long it takes him as long as it's the right guy. But you're right. Like, the longer it takes, the more you kind of wonder what the hell's going on. Like, I'm not sure, like, the process, but I feel like I'm going to just trust Yzerman and the crew there to handle it. But I am a little worried. The longer it goes on, the more it'll be a concern. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know what else I can say. We'll see what happens. But we got the NBA Finals coming up, and we were kind of talking about it a little bit. First half, it's going to be just a story of two sides. Like, how do you defend the 3-point shots and the proliferation of offense that Golden State's going to put out there? And what are you going to do if you can't produce offense and you would normally rely on your defense? You're going to be able to pull that off. There's going to be a lot of questions going in, but it's going to be one hell of a matchup. I think it's going to be interesting how they defend this thing. Do you put Draymond on Tatum? I would imagine that's what you're going to do, right?
I would.
So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be an interesting tale of matchups and how they can do that. I think as much as you can put Draymond on Tatum, I think you almost want to give Tatum a bunch of looks. So, like, yeah, I'm gonna do Draymond most of the time because that's your guy, but I'm gonna mess him up. I'm gonna give him some different looks. I'm gonna be instant with how I give him those looks so that these guys can be effective, right? So now Draymond gets a little break defensively or gets a blow completely and sits on the sidelines, and these other guys can come in and be effective because it's a different look. It's something that he wasn't seeing, and by the time he gets used to it, you're bringing Draymond back in.
Yeah, I think what you're going to do is have to go use Draymond primarily on Tatum, and then you switch it off. You probably let Clay take over for a while because he's of the guards on there. They're probably their best defender.
Right.
With it. But yeah, I don't know what Boston's going to do to stop the three-headed monster when they're shooting because they're going small. They're going to go a three-guard setup there, and they have Wiggins at a 4.
Yeah, but that's not going to necessarily be effective just because you got guys that are quote-unquote sharpshooters. If my defense is tight and I play man or I switch well, there's no reason why I can't just be in the face of every one of these small guys shooting. And it's going to be a problem. If you go cold, Boston's transition is going to kill you.
It's going to be interesting.
Transition ball with Boston like that, playing tough defense. Like, it's not like you're going to get open shots.
No, they'll contest the shots.
Yeah, they'll all be contested shots.
The thing is, Steph can just hit uncontested shots without.
Yeah, but they all can't do it. And
yeah,
they can't
Steph
even Steph has been known to
miss and not get on there. But we'll see what happens on there. But I think it's going to be a good series. I mean, I think it's going to be a 6-game series, maybe 7.
Yeah, I'm going to go probably 7. Yeah. It should be a good series. The only thing that I fear is that you end up with a series like that. We were talking about earlier with it was the most impressive, non-impressive thing I've ever seen all at the same time, right? It
Right.
was like, you got like these, these big shots and these back and forth games, and you win on the road and this, that, and the third. But some of the games are blowouts, even though the score looked close. And it just seemed, it looked competitive, I guess, on paper, but when you watched it, it really wasn't. And so to speak, other than the fact that it went 7 games.
Yeah,
Does that
I
make
think on there
sense?
because the games that Miami won, they pretty much either cruised through it, took over the game on there, and Boston couldn't on there. But yeah, Boston, I think with it, I think the depth of basically, and again, Boston's lead on that was what happens with Marcus Smart on there. If he can on there, Horford and everybody, so we'll get with it on there. And again, right now is the Warriors are the on there. Again, something could happen where again, if either Clay or Steph get hurt, this is going to change everything around dramatically.
Well, that's the big thing too. Is any injury is going to change either of these teams. To be quite frank, they're both. You've got Horford back, so and he's hungry.
Yeah.
So both teams are really at full strength for the most part. And the war of attrition will be real, other than the fact, but like I said, it's just a matter of, as long as there isn't a catastrophic injury, they're going to get the rest they need. They're going to be fresh. These games are going to be, they might almost have too much time off. But they should have their legs underneath
It's
them.
not too bad because at least they're starting tomorrow. They're not waiting for a Sunday start.
Well, right. But I mean, in between, you got like the next game isn't until
Sunday.
Yeah. So it's
I know.
like
I know that's for the TV numbers because you get a better rating audience on a Sunday.
Well, and they want the guys healthy and rested, and they want the travel to not be an issue, and yada yada yada, whatever. But I just think it's a little bit much, but that's just my opinion. But so I don't really think that's the issue. I think what you're going to see here is who. It's going to be Boston's once again, Boston's defense versus Golden State's offense. Can Boston hold Golden State from like being that efficient? If Golden State's shooting at a high percentage, you can forget about it. But they're totally beatable if you can kind of switch it up on them and do some things where they're just not shooting at that high percent. It's not like as to where Boston can shoot 38% and still win.
Right. They can do the dirty things.
You know what I'm saying? But like Golden State, they got to be hitting 45% from the field to beat Boston, and that's a tall task.
Yeah.
And so that's where I think it'll be kind of interesting, and how you guard Steph and Clay, I think is how because I'm gonna let Poole get off. I'm gonna let Draymond do his thing, but I got to find a way to slow down Steph and Clay. I just got to slow them down.
Right.
I don't need to stop them. Instead of getting, each getting a 10 or 12 threes off and making 6 of them, I need them to get 8 of them off and make 4 of them.
Right.
And then if I do that and we win like the war on the boards, they're going to play small. Go ahead. We'll just rebound everything. Then what? You'll never get a second shot.
No.
And and we're going to get a ton of them. We're going to kill you on the offensive boards. And so we'll miss a shot. It won't matter because somebody will be there to clean it up. And so if they start playing that pace, Golden State can't play that way. They want to run. They want to go. They want to get in transition. They want to stop, pop, and drop those threes. They want to pass the ball around a little bit more. They want to do all that kind of thing. If they can't get in their set offense, it's going to be an issue. And, if they can't get doing what they want to do, it's going to be an issue. But it doesn't matter where they are on the floor. If Steph and Clay are just hot, you can't stop it. So, picking a winner in this series isn't going to be easy. If you guys watch those degenerate gambling station stuff we were talking about earlier, don't bet on this series. Would you put any legitimate money on the winner of this series?
No.
I mean, because anything could effing happen. We've just been kind of putting out hypotheticals on what could happen to cause either one of these teams to win or lose this particular series. And there's a ton of stuff. You know, I'm thinking the money goes Golden State's way. What do you think? You think the majority of people are going Golden State in this one? I think majority of the casual fan thinks Golden State's got this. They've seen them win before. Boston's faltered quite a bit.
I think most of the money on there, but you got this, like, there was a stupid stat on ESPN posted today, like, the Celtics have like an 84% chance, I don't know what on there, to win the series on there. Like, I'm not touching it on this. I think this can go either way with it.
Right.
On there,
Well, that's that ESPN Power Index
Yeah,
bullshit. They
which
just
is-
make up. It's just a bunch of nerds making shit up. Like they don't. There's no arbitrary. There's nothing. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just arbitrary horseshit. Because there's no real system, I don't think. And if there is, they don't explain it or tell you how they come up with it, and it's almost always wrong. So I don't know why continue to fucking put it out there.
but I think this is a series that's going to go 6 games, maybe 7 on there. Realistically.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, right now, if you go by the postseason on there, Golden State's out-rebounded the Celtics, but not a ton on there. I mean, it's Golden State's like averaging 44.8 rebounds per game, and the Celtics are averaging 42.8. So it's like 2 different rebounds. So, I mean, it's going to be an evenly matchup. Assist-wise.
Well, that's against everybody.
Right. That's
When they
the
get,
entire-
I want head-to-head. That shit don't mean nothing. You can't tell me because they average so many rebounds and they average so many rebounds, that's what's going to happen when they meet each other. It's going to be at how they game plan. It's just like we were just talking about 30 seconds ago. If Golden State goes small ball and plays small to try to get advantage, they are not going to out-rebound
No.
Boston. They're not.
Yeah, because Looney didn't even play in the Western Conference Finals.